Hello, welcome to the Getting Started with Tobi training video. In this segment, we will review your Tobi account information, password changes, and initial Tobi setup. Let's get started. Before you can become a Tobi user, an account request must be submitted to our help desk by Olga Murray. This will start the process for an account creation by our staff. You will know your account has been created when you receive an email like this. In this email, you will receive your login ID. Your login ID will generally be your first name dot last name at cams.in.gov. Please note this is not an active email address, even though it looks like one. It will serve only as your login for the Tobi system. You will also receive your temporary password. This password is assigned to you and will open Tobi for the very first time. At that point, you will be immediately prompted to change your password. You will also find a link to the Getting Started guide. This resource will be helpful to guide you through the process and the initial setup of Tobi. This is the same information we're going to cover in this video. As I stated, the password received in the email is temporary. It is a system-generated password, and you will need to change it. If at any time you become locked out of Tobi and your password will not work, please submit a ticket to our help desk at https://dmha.fssa.in.gov/helpdesk. So let's take a look at that initial login process now. Tobi performs best when it is used in a private or incognito window of either Google Chrome or Chrome Edge browser. Today we're going to use Chrome. To open a incognito window or a private window, you will go to the top right-hand corner of the three dots and click that and drop down to where it says New Incognito Window or New Private Window. You will tell when you have successfully opened the window. It will tell you in the middle of the screen, and the trim around the screen will be black instead of white. So next thing you need to do is go to the Tobi URL. I'm going to be using Tobi training environment today. So it is Tobi training at training.crm9.dynamics.com. Your URL will not contain the word training. It will just be tobi.crm9.dynamics.com. So you will refer then to the email for your assigned login and password. So we're going to log in as a test user here. And we will enter that assigned password that we were given. And upon your first login to Tobi, you will be required to accept Microsoft and the state of Indiana permissions. And to do that, you just click accept. This will only happen the first time you log in. You will then check your credentials to make sure you have an account set up correctly. And here's where it's going to ask you to change your password. You can change your password to anything that you can remember, but it must meet the complexity requirements with at least 8 characters, including 3 of the following: an uppercase, a lowercase letter, a number, or a symbol. And a symbol could be a $, @ sign, hashtag. So I'm going to put my old password in and my new password. And confirm that. Sign in. You will be required to change your password approximately every 90 days. So when you log in for the first time, you will be forced to change it. And then if it is time for you to change your password, you will receive a pop-up similar to what we just had that tell you to change it. So it's going to ask if you want to stay signed in. You should always choose yes here. That will prevent you from being logged out unnecessarily through your session in Tobi. Once you are in Tobi, there are going to be a few setup options we need to review. So first, to get into Tobi, you'll just click, well, it says Tobi here. So this navy blue line at the top, or this black darker line at the top, is called our navigation or command ribbon. So we're going to go to the very far right, and we're going to go through those icons. This person on the very, very far right is the sign-in information. So it's going to tell you what your username is when you logged in, as you're logged in, and how to, if you want to sign out from the system. Next, moving to the left, the next is the question sign, question mark, or the help. This is more for dynamics help, and you won't use this for Tobi specific questions. We will show you how to get to that soon. The other options, this is the gear option. That's the one we're going to go to. To the left of the gear, you'll find a funnel, and this is for sorting and advanced finds, which is more of a task that management uses. The plus sign for adding a new record, and that information is to be added through each individual page, so you will not use that. The task flows, they're not set up as well, and a search magnifying glass here, and that also will not be used by Tobi users. You will find searches throughout the system for specific information. So back to the gear, that is for our settings. So we're going to click that, and we're going to drop down to personalization settings. In this page, you will verify the information is correct. So the default pane is going to be workplace. The default tab is going to be set to dashboards. The number of records is a personal choice. We recommend 50 or 100, whatever you would like to have is your choice there. The time should remain set to Eastern time, regardless of your location in the state. And the currency should be set to the US dollar. And that will make sure that all our systems are working correctly together. So once that is completed, you click OK. And the last piece of setup is to set up your dashboard. So your dashboard is your main screen here, and it's going to be considered your home screen. This is where you will start and where you will return when you click to go home at the top. Here you will see it says WF dashboard. That's for RAP facilitator dashboard. And there's an arrow next to that. If you click down on the arrow, you will see other dashboard options. Many of these are used by management staff, but the other one that you would use is the access site dashboard. So you can click and choose that. When you want to set a default, you can just click on the top command line here. It says set as default. So when you set it as default, then that will be what opens when you click the home button. Most of us, we're going to reset that to WF dashboard because that's what we're going to want to use the most. And so we'll set that as our default. And we're good to go. So you can either, if you want to change your dashboard, you can either clear the default and set a new one, or just go to the new one and click set default. And with that, we have finished setting up Tobi and are getting started tasks. So you are all set to use the system. Good luck.